Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. I hope all of you are in the best state of Aman and health. A very warm welcome to you all in this new session. My name is Aisha Mudassar and I will be your science teacher. The first topic that we are going to study in this session is the human body. It will be very interesting because we are going to learn all about the body, what is it made up of, and how different organs in our body allow us to carry out different tasks. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has made everything in this world, including our body, very organized. And we are going to start learning from the very basic level of organization in our body, that are the cells. All the living things on this planet are made up of cells. Cells are the smallest building unit of all living things. Just like a house is made up of a large number of bricks, the body of all living things are made up of large number of cells. And these cells are so small that we cannot see them without a microscope. Do you know who was the first person to observe cells and name them? The person was Robert Hooke, and this is what he saw under his microscope for the first time. When he saw them, he thought that these look like the rooms of monks in a monastery, which these rooms were called cells. Therefore, he named this the cells. Now, the cells of a body have different shapes and sizes and they perform different functions. We are going to look at a few examples of the types of cells in a body. First of all, we have the red blood cells. The red blood cells make up our blood. In real life, these cells are very small. This is a zoomed picture of a red blood cell. You can see that it looks like a butterscotch toffee, right? These cells are so small so that they can travel easily around the body. Then we have the nerve cell. It looks kind of like a starfish, and it is a part of our nervous system. It is present in our brain, our spinal cord, and our nerves. Then we have the bone cell and the epithelial cell. The bone cells form our bones, and the epithelial cells form the coverings on our body parts. For example, it forms our skin and a few internal coverings on our internal organs. Now, as you have seen that there are many different types of cells. What happens when one type of cells which perform the same job come together? The answer is that they form a tissue. Now, tissues also have different functions depending upon where they are present and what cells they are made up of. We are going to look at 4 different types of tissues. The first type of tissue is the epithelial tissue. It is responsible for covering and protecting our body. An example of the epithelial tissue is our skin. Epithelial tissue is also present inside our body. For example, epithelial tissue is present on our stomach to keep it safe from damage during digestion. Next, we have the muscular tissue. This tissue is responsible for bringing about movement. There are 3 different types of muscular tissues, but we're going to learn about them later in this chapter. For now, what you should know is that muscular tissue attaches to our bones and allows us to move our arms, legs, and different parts of our body. Next, we have the nervous tissue. As I mentioned before, it is present in our brain, our spinal cord, and our nerves. The function of this tissue is to take signals from its surroundings from a different parts and carry it to the brain. And then it also takes signals from the brain and carries it to other parts of our body. Lastly, we have the connective tissue. This is the tissue which is responsible for giving a particular shape to all of our organs, and it also holds, it keeps all of our organs in their place, in their respective places, and it covers them and protects them. Now, as you have seen above, that there are many different types of tissues. So, what happens when a particular type of tissue they come together to perform a similar function? The answer is that they form a complete organ which is able to perform one particular function. Let us look at a few examples of some major organs in our body. First of all, we have the brain. Brain is responsible for controlling all the functions of our body. Then we have the lungs. The lungs are involved in the process of breathing. Then we have the heart. Our heart pumps blood throughout our body. Then we have our kidneys, which are responsible for excretion of waste products from our body. Then we have the stomach. It is involved in the process of digestion. And lastly, we have the liver. It is involved in many important functions. One of them is cleaning our blood and making different substances in our body. That was all for today. Thank you very much. Stay blessed, stay healthy.